From here, we talk about key features. Key features of NowakeRig are Layered Multi SkinCluster, Bind Mesh, Localized Maya Cluster. These features are essential for NowakeRig system to bring the rig quality high level without adding any extra custom plugins. They are all built with Maya's vanilla standard nodes, but they need to be built with a certain structure and special node connections. Let's dive into the Layered Multi SkinCluster. Multi SkinCluster is officially supported by Autodesk from Maya 2024. This is a normal single skin cluster where the geometry has one skin cluster with a single skin weight map. This is the concept of multi-skin cluster. The geometry has more than one skin clusters. In this case, the mesh has two skin clusters with two skin weight. The joint 0 and joint 1 go one skin cluster, and joint 2 goes to the other skin cluster. This is a simple example of layered multi-skin clusters in Maya. You can see two skin clusters on this sphere mesh. Layer 1 skin cluster and layer 2 skin cluster in the channel box. This is the deformer chain for the sphere mesh. There are two skin clusters connected in a linear manner from the shape origin to the actual shape. This is how to get maximum benefit from the GPU override with a complex rig. Keep the deformers in the single chain to optimize the playback speed in the animation. In the Skin Paint UI, you can see the skin weight maps. As you see, there are three joints in the UI. Actually, the layer 1 joint is for the layer 1 skin cluster, and the others, layer 2 whole joint and layer 2 joint, are for the layer 2 skin cluster. Now we have two animation controls as an independent system. The layer 1 controller deforms the sphere mesh with a layer 1 skin cluster, and the layer 2 controller deforms the mesh with a layer 2 skin cluster. Easier way to think of the layered multi skin cluster is to imagine the layers on Adobe Photoshop. Multi skin clusters work similarly. You can add any skin cluster in one mesh to deform in a different way. Each skin cluster works independently as a layer. You can see them in the outliner. Each layer has a group node, and they can work independently to deform on the same mesh in a different way with an independent skin weight map. This is another example of the layered multi-skin cluster. It has three layers, which means three skin clusters and three independent animation systems in one mesh. This system is very, very powerful when you want to have different behavior and different type of the animation controls on the one mesh. We use the layered multi-skin clusters for the body rig. The layer 1 is for the main body deformation, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and arm. The layer 2 is for the bendable or ribbon control to make the arm shape like a curve, which is useful for cartoony character animation. We also use the layered multi-skin clusters for the face rig. Without the layered multi-skin clusters, we will not be able to achieve high-quality facial animation. In this face rig, it has 7 skin clusters. The head squash skin cluster gives the character's head stretch and squash. The main skin cluster works on main facial animation controls such as jaw control, lower face controls, upper face controls, nose controls, and ears. The blouse layer gives microcontrols to the animators to make the blouse shape. The lids layer can make the character blink. The lid scale layer can scale each eyelid microcontrols from the descent pivot point. The lips layer can make the character smile by moving the lip corner control. The lips rotate layer can make the character mouth shape to pronounce ooh. Great things about the layered multi-skin cluster is that each layer has its own skin weight map, so that riggers can edit, tweak each layer's skin without disturbing the other layer. If you get feedback from the animator to change the lips behavior, you just need to change the lips layer skin weight map. This change does not affect the other layer's behavior. This gives riggers a great way to maintain the complex rig. Let me recap the layered multi-skin cluster. It allows to add more than one skin cluster on the geometry. You can add any number of skin clusters, like Adobe Photoshop layer. Each layer deforms a geometry independently.